Namathu Ratanatayasa. May I pay homage to Triple Gem, the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. My respect goes to my parents and my teachers. Hello, good evening, everyone. So today is a Sunday, the 15th of November 2020. And this is Ajahn Sujan from Varapunya Meditation Center, Aberdeen, Scotland. As usual, I'm here with you all on this night to share some of my understanding and to inform you some of the things that I know. Hello Anish, hello Kalpana, Sukhi host. And hi everyone. So, first of all, before going into any other stories, I would like to extend my thanks to the Nepalese Himalayan Association Scotland, who has generously offered 3 bags of rice and a box of noodles to the center for the venerable monks. So, on behalf of the center and the monks, would like to thank you, the Nepalese Himalayan Association of Scotland, which was established in 2007, and I had an opportunity to give an interview about a month ago about my life and my work here in Scotland, the journey to the Scotland. Meanwhile, I also would like to extend my thanks to Claire, who again generously offered £150 towards the electricity bill at the center. So thank you, Claire, for your generous donation towards the center. So I hope and I wish you for your successful medical studies and become a probably doctor soon. So tonight I will be going very easy. I won't be focusing any topics as such or anything. I will just go along the flow. And meanwhile, I also would like to thank you all the generous donations for the center and particularly renovation of the barn that we are working on throughout this 4 months now. And nowadays we are working on the floor and waiting for the electrician to come and install the electricity, and after that the floor will be completed. So once the floor is completed, then we'll have another 1 or 2 sets of coloring, painting the walls. And that's the plan. And you never know whether we will be able to succeed within the time limits or just go along the flow. So anyhow, thank you everyone for your generous donation and your contribution to the center in any means. And Scotland is still, particularly in our area, we are soundly safe from the coronavirus, and the people are still concerned about monks' diet and food, so they are still coming up and offering food to the monks, and thank you very much for the offerings. Meanwhile, my teachings is still continued on different ways. Like every evening I'm still giving talks and chanting meditation and guided meditation, which is still continuing, and the extra teaching in the morning, to the Dhamma teachings are still going on, like that. Particularly the weekends are very busy day, but now for me today, all day is very busy day. Like as normal, we have a 1 hour meditation at 6 o'clock, and then half an hour of chanting, and then again another half an hour of a meditation. So today, after the meditation, again there was another set of meditation, and there was morning teaching, an hour and 40 minutes of a teaching, and then another 2 hours of meetings, interfaith meetings, which again about the gender equality, on the religious view on a gender equality, and different faith leaders, and particularly those who are working on that particular area, were presenting the figures and the facts about the domestic violence that's related to the gender. And it is appear that most women are abused and harassed in their own homes rather than anywhere else. And this COVID-19, again, the spike is very high level, and which is quite surprising and a worrying figure that coming out from worldwide. When I was listening this talk again, I felt that it is probably not the spike, but it was already in existence, but because of the corona, it is just emerged and appear to the media. So it's quite sad, and I hope that all the religious leaders would be more conscious and promote these elimination or prevention from these violence that is taking place. And it's appeared that other, like particularly main religious groups and faith groups, are facing this immensely in their culture, and probably faith is being misused for their own benefit, and using the cultural bindings to abuse for particular a group or a people's own freedom, like that. So they're just simply misusing a religion to satisfy and violating. Furthermore, and it is also difficult for them to come out from the community itself, because they are they're bound by the community, and it is challenging for them to come out to the new world or new environment. And this is very sad, a sad story. And from the facts that I was listening, appear that doesn't matter whether it's in Asia or whether it's in America or Europe, domestic violence against the woman appear quite significantly higher in every culture, and which is quite sad. And in terms of Buddhism, again, there is a freedom to choose. If you want to leave the community, you can, but whereas other faiths and religious groups, they are not, or they have very limited resources or limited chance to leave the community. So that's very sad, and that gives me so confidence in the Buddha's teachings, that the Buddha gave a freedom of a choice, that we all have freedom of a choice to choose to be and not to be, or choose move on to something else. And this is quite interesting. Like there are so many, our Thai women came to Europe or came to America, and they normally marry with a Christian man, and we don't have any trouble. They don't have any trouble about the faith or religion. They are most welcome to the temples, and they are also supporting their wives to go to the temples, and the Buddhist temples, performing and attaining the ceremonies. And this is quite common. And in fact, most of the Thai Buddhist temples are again supported by those family members who married with the Christians, and a majority of them are Protestant Christians. But having said that, they are not just the Protestant Christians, but also Catholic and other faiths too. And they have no problem with the coming, although they would not follow the Buddha's teachings, but they will not against with their wives' practices towards Buddhist practices. But however, occasionally we do have some problems. It's inevitable, but the percentage of the problem are very less. One particular problem is that as a Buddhist culture, Buddhist monks, they normally should be offered food, and as a result, a Buddhist will come to offer a food to the venerable monks. And there is a belief that whatever you offer, in the next life, you will be granted a similar comfort and similar food. And with that, they will prepare the delicious and nice food, and very happy to spend time in a temple, offering food to the venerable monks, and chatting with the monks, and then staying in a temple for some times, even if not the days, participating the chanting, meditation, and other activities at the center. That has again sometimes caused a problem, a friction in the house, that, oh, you love monks and you love a temple, and so you cook so delicious food, but you do not cook for me and that delicious food. Sounds like that also been a problem. But basically it's not about the problem, they just needed the little close attention. And furthermore, and as a monk, there's a problem is that there is a tradition that whenever our parents passed away, in the name of the parents, Buddhists would invite the monks for the ceremonies and offer a dana, or offer a food and other requisites. And on that day, they will try to think of a food which is their parents or their relatives who passed away love. And they will make that food with great care and great love. And then they will offer that to the monks, hoping that the monks will eat that, and their relatives will receive in another realms. And that's also another story that has caused quite sometimes quite misunderstanding in the Western culture too. And with that, often the problem came, even someone asked me saying that, oh, Achan, you are well fed by so many people, but my wife, she doesn't cook that delicious food to me, like that. And then when I asked her about, is that true? And she said, no, I cooked for him also. Sometimes he doesn't like, but once in a year I want to make a nice food and dedicate to my relatives who passed away, and I am here to offer you too. So like that. So that's why there is no problem with the intermarriage or inter-religious marriages in Buddhism at all. As long as you can accept, then you are okay. Another way of looking at it is that you are not marrying their religion. You are marrying with them, with the human flesh. And this is what you need to be very conscious about too. If you love someone, love them. Do not love their, do not think of their religion and my religion is different. If you really love, then go ahead. Why worry about the religion? Religion is our choice. We can choose. This is my understanding anyway. It may not be digestible for many, but this is my understanding that religion is our choice. We were born as a human and we is equal to all. And once we're born as a human, we brought up in the culture where we were born. And that culture is conditioning ourselves to belong to that culture. And gradually we put our foundations on that culture and saying that this is my culture. And with that culture, what comes is your identity and your religion. So that's why religion is your choice to choose what you want to be and not you want to be. And that is the reason, if you're going to marry someone and if you really love, you should not be thinking about religion. You should be thinking about the human flesh that you really love. And that is most important. In terms of talking about the culture, these days in Nepal, particular in Nyawa culture, it's called a Nyawa, the inhabitants of Kathmandu Valley, original inhabitants of a Kathmandu Valley in Nepal, called Newars, and I am one of them. Although I have left Nepal for about 20 years, and somehow, somewhere, this culture still clicks into me. And nowadays is one of the very important festival going on in Nepal. It's called Swanti. Swanti basically means 3 days celebration, but however, over the period of a time it has extended to the 5 days. It starts from worshipping to the crow, worshipping to the dog, worshipping to the cow, worshipping to the body, and worshipping to the brothers. So these become 5 days. And this is the time also known as the New Year in our culture. Now, frankly saying, I left Nepal for over 20 years and hardly attended any these ceremonies, and even forgotten. Thanks to this Facebook and social media that reminds me these festivals again and again, making me feel that, oh, I know that, I've been there, something like that. And today in particularly is the day called mhapuja. Mhapuja, and then tomorrow will be Kiza Puja. Kiza means the brothers. So praying for the brothers. And then after that will be the New Year. So there's 3 days. Yesterday is called Lakshmi Puja. And then today is a Mhapuja, and tomorrow is sisters are praying for good luck for their brothers, and then the New Year. And this is basically the harvest time and celebration of the harvest. So Lakshmi is a goddess of wealth. Now, because of the harvest, you have you have brought all the harvest inside the house now, and that's the reason why you celebrate your harvest. And then you've been working so hard throughout this monsoon time. You need a rest. So basically, today is the day you're checking yourself. That's what I call a mhapuja. Means you're worshipping your body. Another word called deha puja. Deha means also body. So this day you're basically aware of your entire body and conscious about your body, that how much you have used. And you are saying thank you to the body. And this ceremony performed by one of the senior members of the family will be offering and giving you for the in a celebration. I call it mhapuja. And another in a deeper understanding of this is that in our culture there is no such called God, external gods or deities. Our ancestors become the god, particularly females. So our female ancestor becomes the god, the main god of our clan or the ethnic group. It's called Ajimah. And in that sense, each and every one of us are having this sense of a godness or a celestial or a deity inside us. And as a result, we have to respect this body and appreciate this body, that how much it is giving this life to us. And the more you become conscious about your own physical body and you take care, you become very appreciative of your own physical body and become being nice to yourself, being humble to yourself, and caring to yourself. Basically, you are transforming your own self into the deity or guardian later on. And this is the second way of looking at this celebration. And the third, this entire body is made out of the 5 elements. So the earth element, earth, water, wind, fire, and space. So these are the 5 elements this body made. And with this, while you are working so hard, one of these elements can be used so much, and you must be very tired, and as a result of that, you are unable to connect with the nature, because all the nature also created or made out of these 5 elements. And with this, what is telling us to understand that these 5 elements, this body is made out of these 5 elements, and it is impermanent. One day we have to return it back to the earth, or return back to the nature, and it will be merge into the nature. So it's basically saying that this body is precious, and then it is again impermanent. So that's why on the night, you will be making the mandala. It's called a mandala. So when you're making a mandala, and then you're using so many material that signifies the 5 elements, and with the 5 rounds inside and outside, there will be lotus leaves. Lotus leaf. 8 lotus leaves will be created as a form of the blessing significance. And then you will be keeping that for a whole night, but the very next day you will be destroying that mandala. And that signifies that as this mandala is made out of the 5 elements, so my body too. Now you are you are making this replica as your body. And then after your worship done, finished, you will simply wipe it out. So that is the significance of impermanence of this body, impermanence of the nature, that you are going back to the nature. And that is how it is practiced. So that's why this tradition itself, again, if we go back into this history and then into the what's the story behind, I always found very fascinating with this culture. Although I am not belong to that anymore, and I do not participate much, apart from like 2 years ago, after 10-15 years, I joined 2 years ago with my families in Nepal, attending this ceremony, and it was wonderful, and it's nice having this family gathering. So like that. So I am, tonight, I'm just giving you here and there. I'm just flirting. So monk is flirting today. So I hope you enjoy. There's no any particular topic, but just on the base of the Nyawa culture in Nepal that is happening today. And I'm giving you the story behind of that. And tomorrow will be another ceremony which is known as paying or praying for the brothers' well-being. I will come and tell you the story tomorrow on that. So I end here for tonight, and thank you everyone for all the support and listening to me. May you all be well and happy, as today is the worship of your own body. Remember to appreciate your own self and worship and saying thank you. And remember that this is made out of 5 elements. So does the nature. End of the day, we have to return it back to the nature. So with this, I end here. May you all be well and thank you. And stay tuning in. In a few moments' time, we will have evening chanting and guided meditation. Until then, good night and take care. Sadhu.